Hello and welcome to another day with me, Shannon Ainsley from surfcoach.no. Today we will speak about speed and how to get speed on our backside. My previous tutorial was how to get speed on our front side, and today's topic is almost the exact same. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, and if you have any comments or questions, just put it in the comment box. Alright, so the most important thing that we will always need is speed, and I find like getting speed on our backside's a lot more difficult than our front side for a few reasons. Firstly, our back is naturally facing the way we're going, so we want to be able to turn our body and get our chest to face where we're going. We want to learn how to stay in a pocket when we need to. We want to learn how to generate speed when it's nice and high and fast. So those are important things to learn, and going backside, I find like you need a bit more technique to learn that, but it's a really good challenge, and because of that it's very rewarding. So let's watch these videos over here. This is a friend of mine and she catches two waves here, and you'll see on both her waves her body is facing and her arms are facing in the opposite direction she's going. And also, if you look at her surfboard, the board is kind of flat. She hasn't engaged the rails. She hasn't freed the board. So you want to make sure that you keep freeing the board and engaging the rails from rail to rail the whole time. Those are two very important things. So body language and engaging the rails. Over here as well, you can see as she stands up, her body language is a bit off, and she's trying to get past the section. She's looking, but her body is facing in the opposite direction. So if we are able to twist and rotate and get our body to face down the line, that's going to help a lot, especially if we get our front arm down for direction, other arm around for balance, and also to help with rotating and twisting. So those are two important things: engaging the rail, body language. And we also want to learn how to stay nice and high along the wave, because when you stay high, you fly. And you'll see a lot of people, they try like generate some speed kind of close to the bottom, and also keeping the board flat, and those things don't work at all. So we want to make sure we stay high, we engage in the rails all the time, from rail to rail, using our legs to compress and release. And then here's a friend of mine who stayed high, and you see the board's kind of like moving a bit from rail to rail, but most of the time it's kind of flat, and he struggles to get some speed. But on his next wave, he fixes it. He came in for some feedback, I told him what to do, he went back and he got it right. So watch the difference in this wave. He catches the wave, he turns and does a nice turn in the pocket, and sees that down the line it was going to go flat, so he engages the rail, stays high, gets some speed, and he did very well there. You can see he was working the board from rail to rail with a lot better body language as well. You can see his focus on using his arms, the board's going from rail to rail, and he managed to get through that flat section, and there was a huge difference. This here's another friend of mine. He's riding a really small, like kind of soft wave, and watch what he does. He's climbing up on his heels, dropping on his toes, climbing up on his heels, down on his toes. And watch it, up on the heels, down on the toes, up on the heels, down on the toes. And he's compressing and releasing, so the board isn't bouncing, but he's working the board from rail to rail. He's engaging the rail. So if you watch again, he gets a lot of speed on this little wave. You see he's working the board up and down in the top part of the wave. So he doesn't go to the bottom, he stays high to fly, and he knows it. Look at this guy, he's super stoked. Alright, so we want to compress and release. Make sure we go from rail to rail, we engage in the rails all the time. And when we go backside, we want to make sure we climb on the heels. So here's another friend of mine, he's going to climb on the heels, drop on the toes. Watch it, climb on the heels and take weight off, drop on the toes, put weight on. Climb on the heels, take weight off, drop on the toes, put weight back on, and he's staying high on the wave. And because of this technique, and also because he's positioned on the top part of the wave and his body language is good, he gets so much speed quickly, and then he goes to the bottom, does a nice big bottom turn, and bam, a good solid quality turn. Again on this one as well, same thing. So you see he's staying high, he compresses and releases, compress and release. and he's working the ball from rail to rail, from toes to heels the whole time. And then he does a nice big bottom turn when he has the speed, and he does a good quality turn because of that. So that's a very important thing. And sometimes, like, this is me on a wave, I did a cutback, kind of lost my speed, and then you need to learn how to quickly do 1 or 2 pumps in between your turns. Sometimes you want to stay in the pocket without racing down the line, and you need to be able to do a turn, 1, 2 quick pumps, and then you bottom turn and do a quick turn. You don't want to have to race down the line the whole time, but you want to learn how to stay in the pocket, get the speed in between your turns, and be able to keep your flow. So that's that. It's almost the same as the front side speed drills, but the most important things is you want to make sure that you stay nice and high. You want to make sure that you get your body language in a good position like this, and you want to make sure you always engage in the rails. Alright, so thank you so much for spending some time with me. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know.